The woman who forgot her own birthday. Rain pounded heavily against the old zinc roof. Thunder shook the windows. Inside the crowded family house, laughter filled the living room. Plates clattered. Children shouted happily. The smell of rice and stew floated through the air. But inside the dark kitchen, Ngozi stood alone washing dirty plates. Quietly, slowly, like she always did. Water ran across her tired hands as voices echoed behind her. Nobody noticed the tears forming in her eyes. Because that night, Ngozi turned 39 years old. And nobody remembered. Not her mother. Not her father. Not the younger siblings she had raised like her own children. Not even the brother whose university fees she paid just 2 weeks earlier. Everyone was too busy eating, laughing, and enjoying themselves, while the woman who sacrificed her entire life for them stood forgotten in the kitchen. Then suddenly, her phone vibrated inside her pocket. Ngozi wiped her wet hands nervously and checked the screen. One message. Just one. But it changed everything. You deserve a life too, Ngozi. Marry me. Her breathing stopped, because the message came from Chinedu, the quiet man who had secretly loved her for nearly 20 years. And deep down, Ngozi knew accepting that proposal would destroy the peace inside her family forever. Ngozi had been carrying responsibilities since she was 16 years old. Back then, life was different. Her father worked at a small company in town. Her mother sold vegetables in the market. The family wasn't rich, but they survived. Until one afternoon changed everything. Her father lost his job. At first, everyone believed things would improve quickly. But weeks turned into months. Months turned into years. And slowly, the responsibility of feeding the family landed on Ngozi's shoulders. She was still young when she started sacrificing pieces of herself. First, she dropped her dream of attending university. Then she sold her gold necklace to pay her brother's school fees. After that, she began working multiple jobs. Cleaning offices in the morning. Selling food in the afternoon. Sewing clothes late at night. Sometimes she slept only 3 hours before starting another exhausting day. But whenever she looked at her younger siblings smiling, she convinced herself it was worth it. Ngozi became more than a sister. She became a second mother. A provider. A protector. A problem solver. Whenever rent was due, they called Ngozi. Whenever school fees were needed, they called Ngozi. Whenever food finished, they called Ngozi. And somehow, she always found a way. But there was one thing Ngozi quietly noticed over the years. Every time life became slightly stable, her parents welcomed another baby into the family. Another mouth to feed. Another child to train. Another responsibility waiting for her. At first, she accepted it silently. Then years passed. 1 child became 2. 2 became 5. 5 became 8. And before she realized it, Ngozi's youth had disappeared inside responsibilities that never ended. Her friends got married one after another. They invited her to weddings, sent pictures of babies, built homes, started families. Meanwhile, Ngozi remained trapped inside the same crowded house, always working, always sacrificing, always postponing her own happiness. At first, men used to approach her. She was beautiful back then. Bright smile, soft skin, dreams in her eyes. But slowly, life changed her. Stress replaced laughter. Exhaustion replaced excitement. And every relationship ended the same way. I can't leave my family right now. That became her favorite sentence. Over time, the proposals stopped coming. And eventually, people stopped asking. But there was one man who never stopped noticing her. Chinedu, the quiet owner of a small bookstore near the bus stop. For years, he watched Ngozi rush through life carrying burdens nobody helped her carry. Every morning she passed his shop looking exhausted. Every evening she returned carrying groceries for the family. Sometimes she looked so tired that Chinedu wanted to stop her and say, "You deserve rest too." But he never did. He simply waited patiently, year after year, hoping one day Ngozi would finally choose herself. On the night of her forgotten birthday, something inside Ngozi broke. After washing the dishes, she quietly walked outside into the rain. Nobody noticed she left. Nobody asked where she was going. That hurt more than anything. She sat alone at a small bus stop while rainwater dripped from the roof. Then her phone vibrated again. Another message from Chinedu. Please meet me tomorrow. Ngozi stared at the screen for a long time. Then slowly, she typed one word. Okay. The next afternoon, Ngozi visited Chinedu's bookstore for the first time. The shop smelled of old books and fresh coffee. Soft music played quietly in the background. For the first time in years, Ngozi felt peaceful. Chinedu looked at her carefully. Not with pity, not with pressure, but with kindness. Real kindness. And something about that nearly made her cry. They talked for hours. About life. About regrets. About dreams she abandoned years ago. Then Chinedu asked her a question nobody had asked in decades. Ngozi, what do you want? The question shocked her, because she genuinely didn't know anymore. For years, her entire identity had revolved around surviving for others, not herself. That evening, Ngozi returned home feeling strange, like someone had awakened a part of her she buried long ago. Over the next few weeks, she continued meeting Chinedu secretly. Slowly, laughter returned to her voice. Hope returned to her eyes. And one evening, inside the quiet bookstore, Chinedu finally spoke. I have loved you for years. Ngozi froze. I know life stole many things from you, he continued softly. But it's not too late to choose happiness. Then he brought out a small ring. Simple, beautiful, honest. Marry me. Ngozi burst into tears. Not because of the ring, but because someone finally chose her. Not for money, not for sacrifice, not for survival, but for love. And after years of loneliness, Ngozi whispered yes. At first, she kept the engagement secret. But secrets never stay hidden inside crowded homes. One evening, her younger sister discovered the ring, and everything changed. Her mother cried the entire night. You want to abandon this family? Her father became furious. After everything we invested in you? Ngozi almost laughed at the sentence. Invested? She was the one who sacrificed everything. But guilt swallowed her words. Then her younger siblings joined in. Who will pay our fees? What about the twins? What about the rent? You can't leave us now. Suddenly, Ngozi felt less like a daughter, and more like a machine everyone depended on. Then strange things started happening. Money she saved for her wedding disappeared mysteriously. Anonymous letters appeared under her pillow. If you leave this family, disaster will follow. At first, Ngozi ignored them, but the tension inside the house kept growing. People stopped speaking to her normally. Conversations suddenly ended whenever she entered rooms. Her younger siblings stared at her with resentment, as if she had committed some terrible crime by wanting happiness. One night, Ngozi woke up thirsty and walked quietly toward the kitchen. Then she heard whispers from her parents' bedroom. She stopped walking and listened. We can't let her leave now, one voice whispered. If Ngozi leaves, who will take care of everyone? Then another voice answered softly. Maybe if she feels guilty enough, she'll cancel the wedding herself. Ngozi's heart shattered instantly, because she recognized the voice. It belonged to her younger brother Emeka, the same boy she sponsored through university, the same boy she protected for years. He was the one everyone against her manipulating. The next morning, Ngozi watched Emeka differently. Suddenly everything made sense. The missing money, the emotional pressure, the anonymous letters. He feared losing comfort. He feared responsibility falling on him. So he convinced the family Ngozi was selfish for wanting her own life. That realization broke something deep inside her. Not anger, not hatred, just sadness. Because for the first time, Ngozi understood the painful truth. Her sacrifices had become normal to them. Expected. Permanent. Nobody ever planned for her to stop suffering. Days before the wedding, tension inside the house exploded completely. Nobody helped Ngozi anymore. Her mother barely spoke to her. Her father avoided eye contact. The younger children cried constantly, and Emeka acted like the victim in every conversation. Finally, during dinner one night, Ngozi stood up slowly. The room became silent. Then for the first time in her entire life, Ngozi spoke honestly. I am tired. Nobody moved. Nobody interrupted. Her voice trembled softly. I sacrificed my education for this family. Silence. I sold my jewelry for this family. More silence. I skipped meals so all of you could eat. Tears filled her eyes. I rejected marriage proposals for years because I believed my responsibility mattered more than my happiness. Her mother began crying quietly, but Ngozi continued. Did anyone ever ask if I was lonely? Silence. Did anyone ask if I was tired? Nobody answered. Did anyone remember my birthday? The question hit the room like thunder. Then suddenly, the youngest sister burst into tears. We were scared, she cried. Everyone looked at her. We didn't want you to leave because we don't know how to survive without you anymore. And finally, the ugly truth stood exposed inside the room. They loved Ngozi, but they had also depended on her sacrifices for so long that they stopped seeing her as a person. She became survival itself. And survival is difficult to let go. That night, Ngozi sat alone outside the house, thinking, crying, questioning everything. Part of her wanted to stay, because despite everything, she loved her family deeply, but another part of her whispered something painful. If you stay now, you may never leave. And deep inside, she knew it was true. The morning of the wedding arrived quietly. Rain clouds covered the sky again. Inside the house, tension filled every corner. Nobody knew what Ngozi would choose. Then suddenly, her bedroom door opened. Ngozi stepped outside carrying one small suitcase. The family stared silently. Her mother cried softly. Her father lowered his head. Even Emeka couldn't speak. Ngozi looked around the house slowly. This house had taken almost everything from her. Her youth, her dreams, her freedom. But she refused to let it take the rest of her life too. Then softly she spoke. I love all of you. Tears rolled down her cheeks. But I finally need to love myself too. And with that, Ngozi walked toward the waiting car outside, where Chinedu stood quietly beside the door, waiting patiently, like he always had. He opened the car door gently. Ngozi looked back one final time. Then she entered the car. And for the first time in nearly 40 years, Ngozi chose herself. Sometimes sacrifice begins with love, but without boundaries, love can quietly become exploitation. The people who depend on your suffering may not even realize they are hurting you. And if you keep abandoning yourself for everyone else, one day you may wake up and realize life has passed you by. Because helping others is beautiful, but not when it costs you your entire future. Never forget yourself while saving everyone else. Or one day, you may realize you forgot your own birthday too.